This is a G-type main sequence yellow dwarf star. But you might just call it the Sun. It's an estimated 100,000 million stars in our galaxy alone. The Sun is the centre of our solar system, and scientists say it has been for more than 4.6 billion years. The Sun is so huge that every planet, moon, comet and stray rock in our entire solar system could fit inside of it. It's more than 100 times the size of the Earth and is mainly made up of hydrogen and helium. Jupiter and Saturn are also made up of hydrogen and helium. Imagine our solar system with 3 suns. The true colour of the Sun is actually white. It only appears yellow and orange from Earth. Scientists say the surface of the Sun is 5,500 degrees Celsius, and the centre of the Sun exceeds 15 million. Every 18 months the Moon blocks out the Sun. We call it an eclipse. However, it's only certain places on Earth it can be seen from. The Sun creates its own magnetic field, which spreads throughout the entire solar system, carried by the solar winds. The Sun doesn't behave the same way all the time. It goes through a phase of high and low activity which make up a solar cycle. Every 11 years the Sun's geographical poles change their magnetic polarity, so the North Pole becomes the South and vice versa. After another 11 years it will change back. The height of the Sun's activity cycle is called the solar maximum and is of greatly increased solar storm activity. Sunspots erupt, causing solar flares and corona mass ejections. Solar activity can release huge amounts of energy and particles, some of which impact us here on Earth. Like weather on Earth, space also has weather. It's always changing with the Sun's activity. Space weather, as it's called, can interfere with satellites, GPS and radio communications. It can also cripple power grids and corrode pipelines that carry oil and gas. A solar flare on March 13, 1989 caused the power grid to crash, plunging 6 million people into darkness for 9 hours. The 1989 flare also caused power surges that melted transformers. In December 2005, X-rays from the solar storm disrupted satellite-to-ground communications. NASA and other international space agencies monitor the Sun 24 hours a day, with spacecraft like the Solar Probe and the Solar Orbiter. The Sun has always inspired us. In mythology, religion and culture, throughout history, the Sun has been worshipped by Egyptians, Aztecs, Native Americans, South Americans, Chinese, and many others. The brightness of the Sun is estimated at 400 trillion watts. The Aurora Borealis, or the Aurora Australis, in the southern hemisphere, are electrically charged particles called ions, which are emitted from the Sun in streams of plasma known as solar wind. As the plasma comes in contact with the Earth's magnetic field, it creates light in the same way a neon sign lights up. The auroras are constantly changing and moving in streams of lights or curtains. Because the process of how the Sun ionizes gas interacts with the Earth's magnetic field, it's very dynamic. Although harmless to life on Earth, the aurora causes disruptions to satellites and TV broadcasts. Scientists say the heat and energy released from the core of the Sun takes 1 million years to reach its surface. Food for thought. Live long and prosper. Good night.